to Xtreme Underground Club. Xtreme Underground Club. Xtreme Underground Club.
Welcome to the XUC Caged In main event. This is a special teacher versus student dog collar match contested under Falls Count Anywhere rules. Making his way to the ring standing at almost 7 feet tall and being accompanied by TJ Tucker, it's Rob Roberts. Tony Jones here, the big man himself, coming to you from the XUC broadcast position. There we see the huge Rob Roberts entering the steel cage. And his opponent, hailing from Fall River, Massachusetts, standing at 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighing 190 pounds, being accompanied to the ring by Versace Stoner and Victoria Fox and Kevin Chase, it's Tuff Daddy. There you see the stable that stays together. Tuff Inc., the Versace Stoner, the huge Kevin Chase, Victoria Fox. Tuff Daddy, he's the one that's in this matchup proper as far as the dog collar match goes, but he brought his crew to ringside, and as you can see, the fans are always excited to see Tuff Daddy. XUC superfan Gwen giving Tuff Daddy the handshake of respect. Referee Mike has the job of keeping everything in line tonight as you see all of this humanity pouring into the steel cage. Referee Mike locking it up. Now don't forget, this will be contested under Falls Count Anywhere rules, so even though it is strictly between Tuff Daddy and Rob Roberts, the action can move all around the arena. They'll be strapped together by that 20 feet of steel chain. Rob Roberts drawing a line in the sand with Victoria Fox.
Go home and make me some dinner, sweetheart.
Oh my, and I don't know if you could hear that fully. Rob Roberts telling Victoria Fox to go home and make him some dinner and then calling her sweetheart. Does Rob Roberts have a death wish tonight? Versace Stoner getting in there with the smack talk, as is TJ Tucker. Kevin Chase working to protect his stable. Referee Mike doing what he can to try to keep things in line. And I don't know if you can see on the right hand of your screen, superfan Gwen almost accessed the steel cage. The fans are excited to see this matchup. They cannot wait to see this stipulation. If you're not familiar with a dog collar match, they will be strapped by a chain around the neck. So many opportunities to do damage, either pulling your opponent around, striking him with the chain, using the chain as a whip. Of course, in the steel cage, the cage itself becomes a weapon. It sometimes has a cheese grater effect on the men when they strike the side of the steel cage. Tuff Daddy getting strapped in. Now referee Mike getting ready to strap Rob Roberts in.
Okay, I gotta put this collar on.
Rob Roberts not feeling it. And Rob Roberts is strapped in. Tuff Daddy is strapped in. We may be ready to go. And the bell has rung on the first ever XUC Caged In teacher versus student dog collar match. Smartly, Rob Roberts making a low center of gravity so he can pull on that chain, use it as a lever. Both men, it looks like, trying to wrap that chain around their fist, essentially creating what would be the equivalent of brass knuckles to use on their opponent. Rob Roberts gets the first swings in and going straight for a choke against Tuff Daddy, and then whipping him straight across from side to side of that steel cage. Rob Roberts with an early upper hand. Oh, just a brutal whip to the lower back of Tuff Daddy, and it is already heading to the arena. Tuff Daddy being drug out into the audience by Rob Roberts. Tuff Daddy, you can see holding that neck area. He went down hard, of course, not only going down on the ground, but being pulled and choked at the same time. And more whipping from Rob Roberts onto Tuff Daddy. Tuff Daddy looks like he is already in pain, and we have only just begun this matchup. It is falls count anywhere. They can go all around the arena. Rob Roberts making his brass knucks once again. Working over straight to the forehead of Tuff Daddy. Kevin Chase, Victoria Fox looking on. Referee Mike attempting to keep the peace.
Come on. That's all you got? Come on, Grandpa.
Oh, right to the back of the head of Tuff Daddy. He was just whipped across the back area, across the head. That steel chain may have busted Tuff Daddy open. We may see a crimson mask in this matchup tonight. Rob Roberts going for as many wraps as humanly possible to get as much weight as he can behind his hard rights. Tuff Daddy getting his receipt for those rights. More hard rights from Tuff Daddy onto Rob Roberts. Whipping that lower back area, that coccyx area. Working over that lower lumbar. Oh, and working over the nether regions of Rob Roberts. That will ruin your night. Of course, it is falls count anywhere, so it's perfectly legal to take that chain to the nether regions. And it looks like there's some kind of altercation going on in the background between TJ Tucker and Victoria Fox. Rob Roberts may be out cold now. Big kick to the midsection. Loading up that chain again. Hard right to the forehead of Rob Roberts. Here comes Versace Stoner to help his stable member Tuff Daddy out. Victoria Fox getting involved now. If you can believe it, she's handed Tuff Daddy an even heavier chain. That chain has got to weigh roughly 35, 40 pounds. Right to the midsection of Rob Roberts. And then to the back. Rob Roberts being pulled hard across the arena. Tuff Daddy getting that leverage. We could see the first pinfall. 2 count only here.
Two.
He wanted this to be over, but it's going to continue all around the arena. And you can see the fans in the background. That gentleman who bought the front row seat, he looks disgusted by this matchup. Whips to the upper back, whips to the lower back. Rob Roberts has been whipped senseless. He barely made it to his feet on that one. Of course, don't forget now, this whole time, that dog collar is around the men's throats. So not only are you being pulled around and whipped and punched and hit, it's hard to get your wind. It's hard to get your bearings when you're being choked while trying to have combat. And I believe Rob Roberts may have been busted open. Somehow Rob Roberts kicks out a 2 count only after being struck right in the forehead by as many possible chain whips that Tuff Daddy could muster. Wrapping it around the neck. Now he's been working over that neck. And now he's working it over. He's pulling him in like a dog. It is a dog collar match, folks. And I don't know if you could hear that. Someone yelling out, "Come along, little doggy." Now, back to the cage. Rob Roberts driven hard into the side of the steel cage. As I mentioned earlier, always the potential to have a cheese grater effect when a man is driven into the side of the cage. And a huge elbow from Tuff Daddy onto Rob Roberts. Looks like we could see another pinfall. Somehow a 2 count only. Hard blows to the head of Tuff Daddy from Rob Roberts. It looks like both men have been busted wide open here at XUC Caged In. Rob Roberts going for those brass knucks again. He wants to make more blows to that forehead area of Tuff Daddy. Stiff, hard rights. Tuff Daddy driven to the ground, whipped across that midsection. Again, another opportunity to knock the wind out of your opponent, being choked and then also being struck right in that midsection. And it looks like he's gone for, I don't know if you could hear that. Rob Roberts going for another strap, turning it into a teacher versus student strap dog collar match here on XUC Caged In. Tuff Daddy being whipped senselessly, hard rights right to that head that he's been working over this whole time during the whole matchup. He's been focusing in on that head area. And a beautiful textbook suplex. Tuff Daddy hitting the plywood hard, also landing on that chain. This could possibly be it. Tuff Daddy, he went down hard on that suplex, somehow mustering a little bit of strength to attempt to get to his feet and continue to rain blows down on Rob Roberts. You could see Tuff Daddy now having a hard time catching his breath. That dog collar around his throat this whole time. Both men now struggling to get to their feet. Two count only on that quick roll-up. In any other situation, that would be the end of the matchup when both men can no longer get to their feet. This, of course, is falls count anywhere, and it will continue. Hard rights to the head of Tuff Daddy. Both men continue to struggle. TJ Tucker looking on. There you see Versace Stoner trolling and talking smack to TJ Tucker. I think we're going to see it come to blows between these two guys in the future. Tuff Daddy driven into the side of the steel cage. Both men attempting to be the first to get to those chains. Tuff Daddy successful. Hard rights from Tuff Daddy onto Rob Roberts. Whipping that right leg of Rob Roberts. Whipping that lower back area of Rob Roberts. It looks like the whipping is going to continue. As I mentioned, that steel cage can have a cheese grater effect. I think I saw Tuff Daddy checking his hand for a laceration or some blood as he tries to grip that chain and whip Rob Roberts right to the midsection. The fans, they are loving it. Kevin Chase looking on. Another whip right to the chest of Rob Roberts. Tuff Daddy trying to get organized here so he doesn't choke himself while he goes for a pinfall. This could be it. 2 count only. Both men exhausted, winded, being drugged all around the arena. I don't know how they're getting to their feet. Who will be the first to wrap that chain around their hand? Looks like it's Rob Roberts going stiff right to the head of Tuff Daddy. Tuff Daddy again being driven into the side of that steel cage. Whipping that upper chest area, knocking the wind out of Tuff Daddy. You can hear him gasping for air. And Tuff Daddy driven from the north to the south of that steel cage. All wrapped up in that chain. It looks like he's going to use that chain as a weapon, not only around his hand, but around his forearm and his elbow area, and he drives a hard elbow right to that head of Tuff Daddy that Rob Roberts has been working over this whole matchup. And it looks like he's also going to attempt to drive some hard rights into that head area while also simultaneously choking Tuff Daddy. And they are heading back into the audience area. Tuff Daddy being drug along by that steel chain. Oh no, Rob Roberts has that strap again. Whipping the whole right side of Tuff Daddy. And it looks like Tuff Daddy's able to get a hold of that strap. And he is getting his receipt for those earlier whippings. Whipping the lower back area, the upper back area, whipping Rob Roberts to the chest and the gut. There you see the fans again, absolutely disgusted by what they're seeing tonight. A 2 count only. And Tuff Daddy went down hard after that stiff right to the top of his skull. Pinfall attempt. 2 count only somehow. Look how these men are just completely wrapped up in that chain. How do you even, if you can, and when you can get to your feet, how do you even decide on your next move when the chain is around your waist, around your leg, around your arm? What could you even possibly do to think about your offense? Tuff Daddy going for the brass knucks again, getting as much as that chain as possible. And the stiffest right of the night, right to the head of Rob Roberts. This could be it. 3 count. Tuff Daddy is victorious in the first ever teacher versus student dog collar match at XUC Caged In. Tuff Inc. proudly coming to support and congratulate Tuff Daddy. There you see Kevin Chase and Versace Stoner helping Tuff Daddy get that dog collar off around his neck. Tuff Daddy's hand held high. He is victorious. TJ Tucker looking on. Superfan Gwen getting involved. What a matchup. All pandemonium has broken loose. And there you see Versace Stoner adding insult to injury. Rob Roberts hasn't moved.